Relationships are many things to many people. There's relationships to raise a child or a family. There's relationships to provide money and security if you don't have it. There's relationships to have fun. There's relationships to punish people and try to get them to be the person that you want them to be. There's relationships to enjoy luxury and laziness. There's relationships to kind of half-heartedly do because you're bored. There's relationships to indulge because you're lonely and can't think of anything else to do, right? Bored, what about you, So relationships have a large possibility field. And among those possibility fields is relationship as a divine and sacred path. Now, what makes a relationship divine and a path to the sacred? Right? What is that kind of relationship, and why honor the relationship as a sacred path? And it's that which I want to talk about now. Well, the first thing, right, that makes a relationship sacred is accelerated growth. When two people are 100% honest with one another about their thoughts, about their feelings, about their needs, about the impact of the other, about what they want, about what they don't want, we grow as human beings, as spiritual beings, as human beings. We grow about 300% faster than when we're alone, not talking about those things, not exploring those things. So life is about growth. When we're not growing, we're dying, and life is sacred. And to speed up and increase the value of life by 300% makes relationships sacred. The second is synergy and possibility field. When you have two talented people, two partners, each actively working towards their goals and helping the other work towards their goals, right? So when I'm developing skills to succeed at my goals and I'm helping you with your goals, and you're developing skills to succeed at your goals and helping with my goals, the possibility field, the synergy expands tenfold. Right? You're able to achieve things, to do things that you could not do alone. And the increase of the possibility field of self-realization is sacred. Right? Because to be divine is to move towards the ideal. Right? God got us all that is the ideal. And to move towards God got us all that is by becoming more of who we are, 10 times more together than we could be apart, makes relationship sacred. Another part of what makes relationship sacred is increased survival and security of survival. There are times in life when one person gets sick, when one person loses their job. There's times when another person gets sick and loses their job. There's times when, there's an earthquake or weather comes through. And when you have 2 or 3 people in a relationship or 4 people all working together, you can usually overcome the challenge. But sometimes when there's just one, you break as an individual. You can't cope and your reality collapses. And then it's a traumatic event and you don't know how to deal with trauma, right? And so you spiral down. But that's not good, right? If a relationship gives you the resilience, the strength to spiral up rather than spiral down, towards life rather than towards death, that is a sacred thing. That is a profound experience, to need and be needed, to love and be loved. And relationship, committed relationship, where you make a commitment to one another to be there, to support that, is a sacred thing. Now, it's not sacred when one person tries to use and not grow as a human being by taking from the other. I don't want to learn how to make money, so you give me all the money. I don't want to learn how to cook, so you do all the cooking. I don't want to learn how to make you happy, so you do that too, and then make me happy, right? That's not a sacred thing. That's a destructive thing. You know, it's not kind to someone to help them be lazy, stupid, and incompetent. It's kind to push them to grow and become their best selves. But you can do that together in relationship in ways that you cannot do alone. And that makes relationship sacred. Now, love, right? Love, pleasure, trust, gratitude, joy, right? Dancing, partnership, presence, being together. These are sacred and uplifting experiences, right? When you are present to God, Goddess, all that is, when you're present to something beautiful, true, and good, it is a sacred experience. And to love, to be in love, to fall in love, and see the beauty, the truth, the goodness in another human being, to enjoy their presence, to feel the goodness, the truth, something you respect, something you admire in the other person, is a sacred experience, is what gives life meaning and value, right? To find beauty, truth, and goodness in the love of another human being, to sacrifice, to give up something small, to hold something bigger in the relationship, to sacrifice, to serve something bigger, because the relationship is bigger than either partner. You have this partner and what they want, and you have this partner and what they want. The relationship is bigger. The possibility field that emerges out of two people is bigger than the possibility field of one person, both a positive and negative possibility field. They're both bigger with two people. And so when you honor the transcendent force, the bigger force, the third energy co-created by two people, when you honor that, it is a divine experience. You're serving something bigger than yourself and bigger than your partner. You're serving the relationship. And that makes the relationship a divine experience, a sacred ritual, a sacred engagement. Right? The other thing is the phenomena of loving someone more than you love yourself. You might notice, for example, that when somebody is coming over to your house, you clean your room. Why? Because you want it to be nice for that person, right? You clean your house for the other person more than you clean it for yourself, right? So one of the most fortunate possibilities in a romantic relationship is the phenomena of loving the other person more than you love yourself, either because they are more, they're a kinder person, they're a bigger person, they're a more knowledgeable person, they are a bigger person than you are, and you love them. And in loving them, in serving them, in honoring them, you become more yourself. The other phenomena is you love and care about them more than you love and care about yourself. So you might not give up smoking. You don't care if you die a few years early. But your partner is bothered by you dying early. Your partner wants to be with you, so you give up smoking for them. Right? You don't really care about looking great, but you do it for your partner. Now, when you do a lot of good things, you stop smoking, you eat better, you work harder, you do your chores, you take care of the house because you love your partner. You live a better life because of your love for your partner. When you do something for your child, you develop a skill, you work hard, you make more money for your child, you live a richer life than if you just sat around doing nothing watching TV, right? So when you love someone more than you love yourself, that is an act of service, that is an act of prayer, of worship, and it makes the relationship sacred, transcendent, and important, right? Finally, right? God, Goddess, all that is, the divine, is too big for a human brain to grasp. The goddess is far more beautiful, far more transcendent, far more magnificent than any human being. God is far more incredible, amazing than any human being, and that anyone can imagine. But when you love someone and you try to be better, and you become a better person for them, and they become a better person for you, you can see the God in them. You can see the goddess in them. You can see the beauty, the truth, the goodness of God, Goddess, all that is in your partner. And God becomes more real, right? It's hard to see God in an ugly, lonely, miserable, addicted reality. It's hard to see God. It's hard to see Goddess, right? But when you work together to create something beautiful, to create something whole, you see God in your partner. You see Goddess in your partner. And the world becomes more beautiful because you're in love, because you're respecting and honoring the other. And in that way, you become closer to God, closer to Goddess, closer to life. Because you served that, because you see that, right? Now, this is called the yoga of relationship. Relationship is a spiritual path. Relationship is a path to consciousness, is a path to the ideal, to truth, to beauty, to goodness. Is a path to God, Goddess, all that is. And it is the most sacred, it is the most beautiful expression of a relationship. And it is possible. Less than 1% of humans have this kind of a relationship, but we all touch a little bit here and there. And it's possible in its full expression. Have you ever experienced anything like that? What was that like for you? Right? Have you longed for that and missed it? What was that like for you? Right? Because the more you long for that, the more painful it is when it isn't there. Right? And it is a skill and a love. If you love yourself enough, you will create that relationship. Not just by prayer, but by becoming someone who can, learning to communicate, right? Learning to take care of your body, learning to think, learning to dream, right? Learning to imagine, developing skills, developing resources, reaching out into the world, and praying with action, praying with priority. When you see someone that could be that for you, taking action and honoring the possibility rather than just waiting to see if something happens. It is a prayer. It is a discipline. It is a possibility. that you can co-create if you desire it enough to do the steps that realize the possibility.